Hey folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host Louis Carlin or her right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching for the first time, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter at Shooting Up North, Instagram at Alliance PW Network, and feel free to join our Facebook group, the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. And welcome to another Shooting Up North live stream. Let's get into it. Scott DAmore commented on Impact Wrestling's Friday night pay-per-views and the future of Impact Wrestling on AXS TV. Getting this from Fightful.com. It says over the past handful of months, Impact Wrestling has moved away from Saturday night pay-per-view events, instead opting to present their monthly specials on Fridays. This was questioned by some as they air in direct competition with WWE SmackDown and AEW Rampage. Speaking with Josh Nason of Wrestling Observer just 3 days before Bound for Glory, Scott DAmore, who is the EVP of Impact Wrestling, of course, explained the decision to move nights. So this is what Scott DAmore had to say about Friday night pay-per-views. We want to try some different things. It is a busy night, but one of those things is the way people consume content differently in this day and age. You see sometimes what we think is competition isn't as much competition as we really think because people are going to watch it. This isn't as much of a live content consuming world as it used to be, and there is great stuff out there on Friday nights. I'll be totally honest with you. We may turn around and look at this in a handful of months ago. You know what? Friday wasn't the day to go. Well, Friday wasn't the day to do, but it was one of those things where it's not completely unheard of. I mean, there have been pay-per-views on Friday nights, and there is so much competition on every night of the week these days that we looked at it and said, you know what, Friday and Saturday are great nights to block for live events. Let's take a look and let's see how the Friday night pay-per-views do. He said in some ways Friday night is a night we might find that people already in the wrestling groove and decide to want to DVR SmackDown and Rampage and watch our show, or SmackDown and Rampage and DVR our pay-per-view. They might want to buy and stream it at 11 o'clock at night or turn around and watch it the next day. One thing is, we've always been open to trying different things. Sometimes you invent Ultimate X, and other things you come up with a reverse battle royal. And later on during this interview, he would touch on Impact Wrestling's TV deal with Access TV. I know a lot of subscribers here are saying they need to get off at Access TV. So let's read what Scott DAmore had to say about the TV deal with Access TV. He did say if the right offer were to come about when the deal expires with Access TV, they would certainly sit down and listen. I wasn't aware that there was an actual deal with Access TV. I thought, Access TV is owned by Anthem. Impact Wrestling is owned by Anthem, so they're just on Access TV because Impact Anthem owns both. Um, both Access and Impact. So I didn't know there was a deal there in place. But this is what Scott DAmore had to say, and it's a lengthy comment from Scott DAmore. Scott DAmore says, "I mean, look, much like our policy with talent, we're open to exploring anything. I can tell you this: I sit here and wear a couple of hats. I'm the EVP of Impact Wrestling, and I'm also the EVP of Anthem Sports Media Group. Impact is such a juggernaut on Access TV for us. I know at times it is frustrating for the fans. One reasons we added the show weekly on the YouTube channel. We will always look to keep Impact as one of the staples of Access TV, and frankly, our other broadcast networks, both domestically and in Canada and such. But we also look for other growth opportunities." And again, this is Scott DAmore talking. Scott DAmore talking. For me, it's a great opportunity to serve two masters. We got Impact, which is so great on Access TV, especially paired with New Japan Pro Wrestling. But if we're out there and the right deal pops forward, we will be more than happy to sit in a room and book a deal with a different network. And I'll read it again. He said, if we're out there and the right deal pops forward, we will be more than happy to sit in a room and book a deal with a different network. The other thing is we'll continue to work at other streaming platforms and opportunities as well. So they have it from Scott DAmore. He says they're a juggernaut on Access TV, but if the right deal came along, they'd sit down in a room and book with another network. I think Scott DeMore would love to be on a different network. That's what I think. He could have just said, we're happy with Access TV. We don't want to go anywhere. Anthem owns both Access and Impact Wrestling, so we don't want to go anywhere. We're going to stay on Access TV because that's where we want to be. Um, it would have if he could have said, but he didn't say that. He said we're happy on Access TV, but but if the right deal came along, we'd be happy to move to another network. So I think Scott Demore wants to get off Access TV. That's just me think. That's my speculation. I think Scott Demore wants to get on a different network. Um, he says he's happy Impact Wrestling on Access TV because New Japan Pro Wrestling is on there as well. But deep down, I think he wants to get to a different network, a network that has a broader reach than Access TV. Because Lance Storm said it perfectly. I don't remember the exact tweet, but he said somebody had asked him why aren't more people watching Impact Wrestling. He said he indicated that people really don't want to give it a chance because there's so much other wrestling content out there. But if they gave Impact Wrestling 4 weeks, 4 weeks, just sit down and say, you know what, I'm going to watch Impact Wrestling for 4 weeks and see how it goes. They'll become fans, and I agree. I agree with them 100%. So if they got on a different network, and people were able to get this network, and they had it on a strategic day where it's not conflicting with AEW or WWE. And people like, oh, Impact's on this, so Impact is on this channel now. I get the channel, I'm going to watch it. If they watch it for 2 or 3 weeks, they're going to get hooked because Impact Wrestling knocks it out of the park each and every time, And I will fight to the death with anybody. I won't fight to the death, but I will argue until my lips fall off with anybody that Impact Wrestling is an amazing promotion. People are still out there saying, "Oh, Impact Wrestling is dead. Impact Wrestling is a nobody wants to go to Impact Wrestling." Blah blah blah. But I hate when they do that because they don't watch the product. If they sat down and watched the product, they would change their mind like that, like that. Right, 99% of the time when I'm like, "Do you watch Impact Wrestling?" You're knocking Impact Wrestling. Do you watch it? Like, no, I haven't watched it for like 10 years. Ugh, I hate when they do that. I hate when people do that. I'm sorry. It burned me. Don't say I don't like Impact Wrestling because of 10 years ago. Again, Lance Storm. I agree. Give anyone gives Impact Wrestling 4 weeks. I say even 3 weeks. They'll be hooked and they'll want to watch Impact Wrestling because they got their locker room is loaded with talented wrestlers. Okay, so I went on a little rant there. Didn't mean to. Sorry. So that's the latest from Scott Demore. We're gonna leave it at that. Anything else breaks, I'll be back. Check out PW Mania. I got a lot of articles up there now. Loving what I'm doing with PW Mania. I'm going to continue pumping out those articles. Check it out, pwmania.com. And until I'm back, thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye, and stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye bye.